Usually I start this part with a lecture on the voice, and we are going to do that. But as I was driving in my car one day, and I was definitely going the speed limit, I had a thought that wouldn't it be nice to bring someone here who's had a rich experience with their voice, both from losing it to gaining it, and give a short testimonial. I think it would really symbolize the heart of the day, the nature of the day, what it's all about. So I got on the phone and I called prosecuting attorney Eric Smith from Macomb County. I'm sure you've all seen him, hopefully on TV and not from the other side of the bench. That's not a place you want to be. But he's here to tell you a little bit about his experience.
Thank you. I'm glad Dr. Rubin asked me to speak today. I'm one of his most grateful patients. My name is Eric Smith. I'm a Macomb County prosecuting attorney. I've been trying criminal cases here in Macomb County for the past 16 years, but I've been experiencing problems with my voice for the past 40. I'm sure my symptoms are familiar to most of you. They're common. Your voice gets raspy and weak when subjected to even the slightest overuse. And the recovery time is the slowest imaginable. And you all know the irony too. When you deal with your voice, when you lose your voice, when do you lose your voice? When you need it the most. And I took for granted that even if I started a trial with a healthy voice, by the end, it would be raspy. By the time I got to closing arguments, the jury would barely be able to hear me. I even ran for office this way. As you can imagine, running a political campaign will subject your vocal cords to extreme stress. The demands on your voice are incredible. 3 speeches a day, the meet and greets, the chalk talks, the day after day, all day long. You have to be everywhere, and your communication abilities are paramount. By the time I won in November, I could hardly whisper. I think from that moment on, some sort of medical treatment was going to be inevitable for me. And what finally drove me to seek help? Well, we all have a moment where we throw our hands up and drive ourselves to the doctor's office. And that moment for me came as a consequence of a name that might be familiar to you, Stephen Grant. Now, our office prosecutes about 20,000 cases a year, and every single one of them is very important to me. But that case, Stephen Grant garnered more attention than any case we've had in Macomb County history. And it captured the emotions of so many in this county, in this community. But it's also a case that gripped me personally. I have my own family with a great wife and 2 loving little girls that mean the world to me. And the fact that this man could single-handedly, so selfishly, destroy his own family shocked me to the core. And I shared the outrage of the community. I knew I had to try this case myself, but there was one problem. I didn't have a voice. I could barely speak. First trial date was set for September of 2007. And by the time you do everything you have to do to get ready for trial, my voice was gone. So for the first time in my career, I had to ask a judge to adjourn a case because I couldn't talk. And I had to do it in writing because I couldn't even talk. Then I turned myself over to Dr. Rubin's custody and threw myself on the mercy of his court. And I can't tell you the technical aspects of what he did. I'm not sure exactly what the procedure entailed, but I'm sure he can fill you in on that. But I know this, I had surgery, I had to stay silent for a week, and severely limited my speech for an additional 5 weeks. But when I opened my mouth, I had a voice again. And I had a voice I hadn't heard in 20 years. It was clean and full and fairly strong. Even the people in the back of the room could hear me then. Voice that didn't weaken during trials, didn't weaken during reasonable use, and it didn't falter when they needed it the most. And when it came time to try that case, I had my instrument back. And Stephen Grant is now in prison for the rest of his life, and I'd like to think that my voice had something to do with it. I know I'll never be a rock star, and I have to watch my volume like so many of you, and not do anything crazy, but I can speak for the people now with confidence. But most importantly, I can do something even more important. I can sing songs with my daughters, something that was sorely lacking before. I'm not saying it's pretty, and believe me, it's not. But my little girls, they They think I could be one of the Jonas Brothers. And for this, Dr. Rubin, more than anything else, I thank you. And I applaud you and your team's dedication to World Voice Day. I'm grateful to be here, to be able to tell you about my own experience in my own voice. So thank you for having me.